Hello and welcome to Who Knows Rolls. I'm your host Mike B, and here we are for the early centennial Mumbo Jumbo for August. September. September. It is September. It's shit. It's thunderstorms. It's light. It's wet. It's horrible. The summer's been terrible. We've not been able to enjoy it, but it's been perfectly good board game weather, may I say. And aside from distractions of being dragged camping, that's been thrilling. I survived that. Anyway. Enough of that. I hope you've all enjoyed what you can of the summer. I hope you've played some board games. I have a few, not many, but a few. And with that in mind, let's have a look at what I've been playing. We finished off the winter of Frosthaven. We had one last night ago. I've opened a new character. I won't go any more into that in case of spoilers and get hung or something. But anyway, new character, a first retirement for me. The winter's come around, it's ending, and we're kind of putting a pin in it for that. We're going to have to take a break and play some other stuff. I think I covered it anyway last week, my thoughts on Frosthaven. I am enjoying it as much as I find that it's a hard work at times. There's a lot of extra bookkeeping involved, and I all like what it does and what it adds to the game, but it stretches it out a bit. I don't know. I still enjoy it, but it drags it out a bit. So there's that. I like anyway, we've covered all that. We've done all that. Aside from that, we played Thunder Road the other day. So Tony's Thunder Road. I took it round. Me, Bob, Robbie, and Rich had a go of that. Ben wasn't there, and Ben does not like the dicey roller game, so we played without him, and much carnage ensued. It was very stupid. We played pretty much everything in, and then we randomised a set of boards. We played one race and it kind of went to the limit and everyone killing each other. And we played a second race and I randomised the boards, and the very first board on the map was like a narrow valley bit with places to die instantly, and pretty much three of us didn't make it off that first board. We all fucking died in glorious fashion. That was pretty much the end of that. But yes, stupid fun. It's just stupid fun. It's a dice rolly, stupid, random mayhem blow-up card game. If you're in the market for that, then this ticks all the boxes. The Kickstarter version is obviously quite expensive. If you can look at retail, I think it's all right. The only thing I would say as a thing against this is it is quite expensive and it is quite light and random and stupid, but it is quite good fun. So yes, if you're looking for something serious or a serious sort of racing game, fine. But no, this is very much light. Stupid. It is based on the 1980s board game, so what stuff do you expect? But yes, just in case, it is incredibly random and stupid and daft, but fun. The important thing is the F word there in that one. It is fun. What else have we been doing? Just going to quickly check that. So Wonder Woman's a big one. We played a shit ton more of Res Arcana. I'm going to stop by and do maybe a mini capsule review of that at some point. But yeah, that. And then last night we played some more of I'm going to say The Last of Us. It isn't that. After Us, the monkey game as we refer to it as. I do like what it does. I do have the critique that it feels very much like you're sat doing a solo thing on your own, but I enjoy what that puzzle is and what it's doing. But yeah, there isn't a lot of player interaction. That's probably the big critique against that game. You are kind of sat in isolation, just doing your thing. But yeah, other than that, Ben brought along, because he'd been on holiday, coming a bit later, so we played that first, then Ben arrived. We were going to play with some more Res Arcana, which I love the Res Arcana. It's been getting a lot of love. I'll come to that at some point, as I said. He brought Scout from... The name has escaped me out of my brain the moment I said it. It's a very small card game. I believe he'd seen it recommended from the shut of the sit up and down video thing, so he picked it up for that and brought it along, and it was a lot of fun. We played a lot of games of it, very short order. I don't know how many. I won quite a few of them, surprisingly. It's a simple card game. It is a simple card game, but the initial explanation, you have to play like a round of it to make sense. Essentially, you've got a set of cards. Well, how many? I don't know, 52 cards, whatever. There's a pack of cards. And on each of these cards is essentially two different numbers. One at the top right, one at the bottom left. You shuffle all this up. You deal everyone a set of hands, depending on the player count. everyone looks at it, and you're not allowed, once you've got your cards in your hand, you can't then move any of them around, and you can't do anything else with manipulate them. You are stuck with that. Whatever that fan of cards is, you are stuck with it. You can, if you want, rotate it and have the bottom numbers or the top numbers, but aside from that, that is it. You are then working with the hand, and the idea of the hand is it's kind of a bit like a trick-taking thing, sort of. You are playing cards out from your hand. You're playing pairs or trips or whatever, or runs, straights, and that's it, really. So you can put a run of 2, 3, 4, 5, put it down as 4, goes out, and whoever plays their cards out, everyone has two options. They can basically try and beat what that person has put out. Sets 2 of kinds, 3 of kinds, 4 of kinds, beat the runs, as it were. We got a lot of runs that night. Ta-ta. So the bet, sets beat runs. So if someone's put out a 2, 3, 4, you can beat that as long as you have to have the same amount of cards if it was going to be a set. So you might have trip 2s, trip 3s, trip 4s, whatever. Or if you're going to do a longer run, then it would be one more card. So 2, 3, 4, you could then do a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would beat it, and so on. The winner takes the cards of that trick, they put it in their hands, their cards stay out. If you can't beat it, can't do anything else against it, the only other option you got is a thing called scout. I'm banging the table on where the camera's probably flinging around like a fucking mad thing. Sorry. If you can't beat it, then you scout, which is you take a card out of the lineup, any from the one end or the other, and you can take it into your hand. You can play it anywhere in the run of cards in your hand, and you can put it either way up. But once it's locked in, it's locked in. And that's basically it. You're essentially trying to clear your hand. If it goes all the way around and someone plays a hand out and everyone scouts from it and no one actually plays against it, then that ends a round. You play as many rounds as players there are, and that's it. And if you clear your hand out, as I say, that's also the end of the round. Any cards you're left in your hand at the end of that when someone finishes a round is minus points. Any cards you've won are worth points, and you can get extra points from various things like people scouting off you and stuff. You have a counter that you can use once per round, which allows you to flip, which allows you to scout and to play at the same time. So it can be a good way of syncing up pull a card, limit what's then in the middle, play out against it. And that's it. That's it. It sounds, as I say, more complicated than it is. Once you played a round or two of it, you are like, oh, I get this. This is quite good fun. And I will say that. It is very good fun. I really enjoyed it. I've seen it on the Facebook groups, and just kind of it was there in the peripherals of me. But I really enjoyed it. In fact, so much so I ordered the copy yesterday. I got back and thought, you know what? Actually, I really enjoyed that. I think I'll keep one. Little pack and keep. It's 20 quid roughly around most places you can get it from, which is a little excessive for what it is, to be honest, but it's good value. Play per value, you're going to get a lot out of it. If it had been about the sweet spot of a tenner, I'd been fucking all over that shit, but 20 quid, so be it. Anyway, I picked it up. It has it's supposed to have a theme of you're running a circus. Let's be honest, the theme just dribbles off instantly. I don't understand how the theme works. It's Number Wang, the card game. That's what it is. So anyway, recommendation. I picked myself up a copy. Is Scout from the company whose name escapes me, and I'm not even going to try and remember to do it. It's embarrassing, in fact. That's it of played stuff that comes to mind at the moment. So there you go, played stuff. News. Here is the news. Castle Assault is on this on Board Game Geek, mainly from 2015. The designers of this game, TJ Dunbar and Andrew Pearson, I think it is. Dunbar these are the guys who stole the 300k's worth of magic cards from Gen Con. They are the dumbest people in the world, one has to say, to be fair. I mean, criminals aren't smart a lot of the time. I've dealt with my fair share of criminals in my retail days, of shoplifters and stuff. Most of them are really fucking stupid. These guys have done nothing. I mean, he's designed a game, just barely. Yes, so Castle Assault, if you look at Board Game Geek, his rating has been dropped and plummeted from whatever it was down to about 4.3 or something. It's been voted against because these two numpties basically were behind the 300k Magic the Gathering theft. Allegedly, but I believe actually there's no allegedly about it. It was them. Dunbar, fucking moron that he is, wore a t-shirt, I'm sure I covered this before, for the fucking game he developed, published, while stealing the stuff. That's quite bold. But yeah, so anyway, they, I believe they are being questioned. Their lawyers are lawyering up, but it does look kind of fairly cut and dried as they are kind of seen on CCTV, basically walking out with the stock. Morons. So there was that. Imperial Miners, new game for Portal Games. Imperial Settlers, Imperial Miners. I saw it at the UK Games Expo. I really enjoyed it. It's another engine builder game using the miners, the settlers world and the cute little characters on boards and stuff. It is that. I enjoyed the little demo I've had at Expo. Ignatius has been in touch. He said, would you like a copy to review? Yes, I said I would most certainly like that. So I've got that coming. That'd be nice. We'll look at that. Although I have got a bit of backlog of stuff we need to get through and look at. So there's that. Then Lorcana. I've not played it, but that's come out, been very popular by all accounts. Has anyone played it? What do you think? It's a CCG, which instantly kind of makes me go, oh, because, you know, I like a card game. I like a decky buildery type card game. But my days of CCGs kind of behind me because they're bloody expensive to get into, really. I think 20 quid is a start date for one of these things. They do look quite cool, the art on it, but I don't know. I'm waiting to see. It's the latest big darling. It's been selling very well. I think there's a restock coming in around about September time. So, but yeah, has anyone played it? What's the opinion on it? Da-da. We can bait some click. Baiting the click. Well, real quick, I mean, this hasn't had much traction, but I saw it. I thought I'd mention it, though it's really no news to me, to be honest. It's a no news thing. No Roads Barred, who I have no idea who they are, but they're clearly more important and more well put together and more professional than anything I'm doing. Anyway, No Roads Barred, a YouTube channel, do stuff. One of their presenters, Adam Blampede, a man with far too many teeth in his face for my liking. Never trust a man with that many teeth, is what I say. He has a prior history of being called out during Me Too for being basically a douchebag. Allegedly, her behaviours have resurfaced in some, I'm sure, clearly dodgy way, and he's been taken off air. I mean, it's a non-event for me because I don't know who really this numbskull is, and I don't watch the channel. If you watch it, I'm sure it's annoying to lose a presenter off there, but he's a douchebag, well, counts. So that's a thing that happened, allegedly. Again, so that is the whole click debate this week. Click debate, I like that. Anyway, what else is going on? Very quickly, catching up some stuff. So I did watch Secret Invasion. I meant to mention that the other week. The miniseries from Disney Plus, Samuel L. Jackson, Secret Invasion, Krolls and Scrolls. Ooh, Marvel, exciting. Fucking abomination. Just shit show all round. Absolutely fucking awful. Don't fucking watch it. I really, no, don't waste your time. It's just a fucking clusterfuck of a mess. Well, so I started watching Hijack, the Idris Elba thing. Again, fucking awful. That's on Apple. You know what? Idris Elba, I love the guy. The Wire, fantastic. He's absolutely amazing as Stringer Bell in The Wire. I am somewhat becoming to the conclusion that his quality control level since that have just gone off the radar because Hijack is fucking awful. It's like a subpar BBC fucking drama sort of nonsense. It's just ludicrous. I gave up after about 4 or 5 episodes. It had this kind of constant, I need to almost see what's happening next. And there's some good talent involved in this. And then you're left going, what the fuck? So there's that. I'm just thinking like Luther, I didn't really think Luther was that great. And I don't get it. Anyway, he's a lovely actor, great actor. Just seems to have a really bad choice in shit to watch. I did see that the trailer came out for Rebel Moon. It's Zack Snyder's Star Wars. Basically, allegedly, he pitched a Star Wars movie to Lucasfilm back in the day when Disney first took over, and they declined his invitation. So he then has decided to do his standalone thing, Rebel Moon. It's essentially Magnificent Seven in space, or more importantly, as I would say, Battle Beyond the Stars, a remake of that. Battle Beyond the Stars is a Roger Corman 1980s Magnificent Seven in space. It's got everything you could possibly need. Production designed by James Cameron, a ship of tits, a Sybil Danning as a space Valkyrie. You've got Robert Vaughn basically playing the same character from Magnificent Seven, or Man in Black. John Boy from the Waltons talking spaceships, mayhem. George Peppard as a space cowboy. It's got everything you could fucking need. And John Saxon's the bad guy, and all sorts of good stuff. brilliant. I loved it, and a James Horner score, just to wrap that all in a nice tight bow. And for a Roger Corman production, New World production, actually is, I think it was quite well budgeted for them, and I think they reused all of the special effects and everything in it in subsequently every other movie they put out. But yeah, if you've not seen Battle Beyond the Stars, highly recommended as a wonderful curio of that time. It's one that sits firmly in my I do love it. It's just awful, but it's brilliant. So there's that. But this essentially is the same idea. It's a planet that a bad dudes turn up at and say, "We're taking all your stuff. What are you going to do about it?" And one of them from the planet goes off and finds help. Quite a stacked cast. Snyder has a certain look, aesthetic to his stuff. I have a love-hate with it to a point. I do enjoy sometimes what he did, though Army of the Dead he did was fucking atrocious. A, it wasn't a great movie, but B, he had a weird fucking kind of focus. Everything else was out of focus except, straight in front of the camera, and it really was a bit off-putting. So I hope we don't have that sort of aesthetic craziness going on. But this looks relatively interesting. I saw that was quite fascinating is that Netflix are doing it essentially on their channel. You have two options. You can watch a family-friendly version of it, or there will also be an R-rated or whatever more violent containing cut of it. So that's kind of cool that it's making use of a streaming platform. Coming out Christmas, it's now been split into two movies. I thought he was supposed to be doing a couple of these anyway. I think there's more to come if it goes off. I'm going to give it a pop. It looks quite entertaining, and so aesthetically, he can do some quite cool stuff. And then I watched Ahsoka, which hit on Disney the other day. Dave Filoni has written the thing. It kind of is a direct continuation from Rebels, the Star Wars cartoons, if you've seen any of that, which was quite good. First series was a bit of a run, but as it hit its stride at number 2 onwards, it was actually pretty good. And I'm not a big fan of the Star Wars blah blah animated shit, but it was cool. So this is kind of like a direct continuation with the characters in. It follows on from the end of that, which saw Grand Admiral Thrawn, a character who's been taken out of continuity and brought back into continuity, being shot into space by space whales or something. And it's this bringing that storyline back with Ezra, who's this Jedi who was stuck with him, and the crew of the rebel crew of the Rogue Crew. They were sort of popping up. So I don't know how much mileage it's got for people who've not watched Rebels. Who knows? I don't think it's too heavily in a moment into it, but there's some nice nods. If you know the show and watched it, then there's nods to it. I thought it was really cool. Yes, the plot is fairly straightforward. Go and find a secret space map and do stuff. But I thought it looked gorgeous. It felt very Star Warsy. The most Star Warsy thing I've seen for a while from Disney. And it just was, I just liked the vibe of it, I liked the look of it, and like what it was doing. I think it's 8 episodes in total with a 2 drop. And it just felt, and Ray Stevenson, bless his cotton socks, who we lost earlier in the year, he's marvellous in it. And the casting generally on the whole was fantastic, but he's really good. I am a bit of a Star Wars nerd, and this felt really good fun. And I really can't wait to see where it goes, because I'm enjoying the vibes of it at the moment. It's just back to Star Wars. I'm sure the haters are hating, but there we go. That's the Star Wars fans for you. Other than that, I think that's about it, really. As I say, I want to try and get some reviewy bits done. We'll see if I can do that. And, we'll see then. And nothing else really on the horizon. That's that and another video. I have got some other stuff to do. It's just been very manic and very busy. It is a bank holiday weekend. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend, most certainly. I will attempt to as well. And we'll catch up on the other side of that. And that's about it, really. That's it. I have nothing else to say, so we'll see. Adieu, farewell, goodbye. Enjoy what you're doing. We'll be back soon. Lovely. Ta-ta.